No, it's just what's the point? They're all the same. Some stupid killer stalking some big-breasted girl who can't act, who's always running up the stairs when she should be going out the front door. It's insulting.
The Scream franchise is rightfully considered one of the best horror films in the genre. The combination of a slasher and a detective story, which uses genre cliches in an ironic way, has become very popular all over the world. The success of the first film in 1996, whose box office was more than 10 times its budget, paved the way for 5 more sequels, as well as the path to the success of many aspiring stars. How is the life and career of the young actors of the film such as Neve Campbell, David Arquette, Courteney Cox, and other actors of the franchise after the famous horror film? And who of today's heroes was able to take advantage of a lucky chance and who missed it? This is Biographer Express, and we are starting. Rose McGowan made her debut in the movie Encino Man in '92, and even received the Independent Spirit Award for the film The Doomed Generation, which became very popular among teenagers thanks to intimate scenes and a lot of swearing. After that, the actress was invited to Scream, where she played the supporting role of Tatum Riley, Sydney's best friend. The actress instantly becomes popular after the success of the film and quickly received offers of new roles. But during the 90s, she chose a non-standard independent movie with eccentric images of the main characters. For her work in the black comedy Jawbreaker, the actress received a nomination for the MTV Movie Awards in the category Best Villain. In general, this role will follow McGowan for a long time. Rose gained real fame after participating in the project Charmed, where she received the role of Paige Matthews. The series about the Witch sisters became the brightest page in her career. But since the early 2000s, something has gone wrong. Perhaps the reason was the breakup with the flamboyant Marilyn Manson, with whom the young actress excited the whole of Hollywood. She returned to average projects again, starring in the low-rated television drama The Killing Yard. Rose had a new opportunity to express herself with the participation in The Black Dahlia. This was followed by one of her most unusual roles in her film career, the result of collaboration with Quentin Tarantino and Robert Rodriguez. The film Grindhouse consisted of 2 parts, Death Proof and Planet Terror. The actress got into the project thanks to Robert and their lucky acquaintance. Rose charmed the famous director so much that he not only invited her to the upcoming picture, but almost left his wife due to their affair. In 2011, the actress starred in the blockbuster Conan in the role of the villain, which the screenwriters wrote specifically for her. In 2012 to 2014, she was again a villain, this time in the popular TV series Once Upon a Time. In addition, Rose tested her directorial abilities in the short film Dawn, for which she received a nomination for the Grand Jury Prize at the Sundance Film Festival. Rose also proved herself in music. There were 2 soundtracks for the TV series Charmed and 3 for Planet Terror. And in 2018, she released her debut studio album called Planet 9 and made her debut as a writer with the book Brave. Now, McGowan doesn't often appear in films. The last year of the actress's life are associated with scandals based on sexual harassment and the struggle for women's rights in the film industry. Unlike his colleagues, Jamie Kennedy got into the Scream franchise with virtually no experience. He had cameo roles in several TV series, the most successful of which was Romeo and Juliet starring Leonardo DiCaprio. In the Scream franchise, the actor played the role of Randy, a high school student who was a big fan of horror movies and secretly in love with Sidney Prescott. Randy's extensive knowledge of cinema helped the characters in the franchise outwit the Ghostface. After working on Scream, Kennedy continued to pursue acting and star in films and TV series. There were quite successful ones. So many of Jamie's projects of the 90s paid off at the box office and earned good ratings from the audience. There was As Good as It Gets, Enemy of the State, Bowfinger, Three Kings among them. With the advent of the new millennium, Kennedy's career began to gradually decline. No, he continued to act, but in the average projects with a small budget. And he didn't get the main roles, sometimes even cameo. For example, there was a phlegmatic assistant, an evil ice cream seller, and some creepy guy. Boiler Room and Son of the Mask have become one of the most striking films of the last 2 decades. In the latter, the actor got the main role and at the same time a nomination for the Golden Raspberry for the worst male role. The episodic roles in the TV series Criminal Minds, Ghost Whisperer, Reaper, Lucifer became his salvation. The last decade has not pleased Kennedy fans with any worthwhile projects, except for Lucifer. Some of them, such as the sequels of the Tremors franchise, were released on DVD, and most have such a low IMDb rating that Wikipedia diplomatically keeps silent about them. Well, at least the actor got noticeable roles in these movies. But Kennedy does not lose heart. In addition to his acting career, he is also a stand-up comedian. He even had his own comedy show from 2002 to 2004. In his personal life, the actor was in a relationship with a colleague on the TV series Ghost Whisperer, Jennifer Love Hewitt. And later in 2015, he was seen with actress and model Rita Volk. In the future, a new project of the actor is expected, a mixture of comedy and horror called Don't Suck. But there are doubts about the success of this film work. Before getting a role in the popular franchise, Skeet Ulrich gained experience in low-budget films, even trying his hand at starring roles. A handsome young man barely got the role of Billy Loomis, a cruel and elusive maniac. It happened largely thanks to director Wes Craven, who saw potential in the little-known actor. But this led to a natural result. Skeet became a hostage of one image, and he was invited to play the roles of negative characters for a very long time. In the 90s, the actor was offered mainly the main roles in various films. The most successful project of the period was As Good as It Gets. The rest of the pictures either failed at the box office stage or even were released on DVD. With the advent of the new millennium, Ulrich took on various works in cinema and television. Thanks to his perseverance, he received 2 major dramatic roles in the TV series Miracles and Jericho, which brought him a new round of popularity. Another successful dramatic role was the image of Ray Singleton, a farm manager and just a good guy in the TV movie The Magic of Ordinary Days, released by CBS. The drama became one of the highest rated on the channel for 2001 to 2002 and received a lot of good reviews. In general, he was more lucky with the series. There was Law & Order Special Victims Unit, Law & Order LA, CSI New York, and Unforgettable in the list of roles. And of course, the youth series Riverdale, where the actor played the leader of the South Side Serpents, was one of the most recognizable and popular. The actor does not add up with the movies. The only work that earned more or less decent ratings was the drama 50 to 1, where Skeet got the main role. But the film was released in a limited edition, receiving average reviews and failed at the box office. The actor's personal life is not very good either. He has 2 divorces and 2 children to whom, according to rumors, Ulrich did not really want to pay alimony. There were several short-lived romances, but Skeet skillfully hides most of his personal life from prying eyes. The image of Sidney Prescott, played by Neve Campbell in the Scream franchise, has become legendary, as she constantly faced masked killers in the battle for survival. Over time, she earned the nickname Scream Queen, which she did not recognize. Neve, the heroine of the youth series, began her career in 1993, but Scream became a real breakthrough for the young woman. She received the Saturn Award and several nominations for other awards for the main role in the movie. The famous film critic Roger Ebert wrote about Neve that the camera loved her, and that thanks to this, she could become a really big star. But despite her success, Campbell now admits that she is not a fan of horror films and does not like to watch Scream. After a dizzying success, the actress began to be offered major roles, and the peak of her career was in the 90s. In 1998, she starred in the thriller Wild Things, in the drama 54, in the romantic comedy 3 to Tango, and the detective comedy Drowning Mona, which were released in 1999. Unfortunately, Neve's projects either failed or barely paid off the budget. Since the 2000s, the actress has been returning to television. As a guest actress, Neve starred in Medium, Grey's Anatomy, Mad Men, House of Cards, and other series. But she had less luck with films. Those few attempts to realize herself as an actress of a full-length drama or comedy failed. Some of them you probably haven't heard of. Apart from appearing in the sequels of Scream and cameo roles in TV series, the career of the once promising actress slowly came to naught. Perhaps it was all about difficulties in her personal life and 2 divorces. Or maybe the actress decided to devote more time to the theater and her troupe, Blue Sphere Alliance Production Company. The only film of the last 10 years, in addition to the 5th part of the famous horror, was the American action movie Skyscraper. It gave the actress the opportunity not only to show herself in one of the main roles and in a successful project, but also to admire the muscles of Dwayne Johnson up close. Now, Neve practically does not shoot anywhere, tries to devote a lot of time to her family, and carefully selects scripts. Despite a little experience in cinema, Matthew had a role that determined his future: the cunning son of a homicidal maniac in the movie Serial Mom, which was released 2 years before Scream. It was remembered by the directors and therefore provided the actor with the role of Stu Macher. After the success of Scream, Lillard continued to act in various projects both in movies and on television. But at first, Matthew was seen as a comic hero, offering him appropriate roles. In the 90s, several worthwhile comedic projects with the actor were released, including Senseless, She's All That, in which he received minor roles. The dramatic comedy SLC Punk deserves special attention, in which the actor was able to show his dramatic talent and get good reviews from film critics. Unfortunately, the film collected a penny at the box office. But Matthew became very popular among directors. Only in the period from 2000 to 2001, he appeared in 6 films, including Spanish Judges and 13 Ghosts. One of the most famous roles undoubtedly was the image of Shaggy in the family comedy Scooby-Doo, which he not only played but also voiced in the interpretations of the familiar story. It was this role who provided Matthew with great popularity and the love of viewers of all ages. Gradually, the actor tried to get more complex and dramatic roles, but it wasn't always successful. For example, the romantic thriller Wicker Park, despite the good rating and approval of film critics, became a box office bomb. The comedy drama The Descendants became more successful, in which Lillard was able to work together with George Clooney. The film not only paid off the budget several times, but also received 5 Oscar nominations. Since 2011, the actor began to work on television, participating in series such as House MD, Criminal Minds, The Good Wife, and Twin Peaks. In general, Matthew has practically not acted in films in recent years. In 2012, he released his own film Fat Kid Rules the World, testing his skills as a director. The picture earned generally positive reviews and a good rating, 6.4 points on IMDb, but it did not become the start of his directorial career. Now, Lillard realizes himself mainly as a producer and periodically appears in TV series. Sometimes he appears in just a few episodes, such as in the drama show Billions. The actor also has 3 children with his wife Heather Helm, with whom they have been together for more than 20 years. Before getting acquainted with the role in the famous horror movie, Liev Schreiber was known mainly as an actor of theater and independent cinema. His career skyrocketed after his appearance in Scream. Although the role was rather episodic and even unnoticeable, it helped Schreiber to attract the attention of producers. In the 90s, the actor was mainly invited to minor roles in films with dubious success. The exception was the dramatic projects Jacob the Liar and The Hurricane, where Liev got the main roles and high ratings from the audience. After the first success, Schreiber tried his hand at various genres of cinema, but the most successful were the dramatic ones such as The Sum of All Fears, The Painted Veil, and Defiance. The actor was nominated for the Saturn Award as Best Supporting Actor for his role in The Manchurian Candidate. The apogee of Liev's career was the main role in the superhero film X-Men Origins Wolverine, where the actor played the role of the supervillain Victor Creed. He had another major role in the action movie Salt, starring Angelina Jolie. In addition, Schreiber has appeared in such popular shows as CSI Crime Scene Investigation and Ray Donovan. The latter became one of his biggest works and brought him 5 nominations for the Golden Globe and 3 for the Emmy. Now, Schreiber is actively filming as before. In 2022, the film Ray Donovan the Movie was released, which became a continuation of the series and received mixed reviews. Now, the actor is working on a project, A Small Light, which has already received a high rating, and the audience really liked it. A celebrity's personal life isn't so successful. In the past, he has had romantic relationships with some famous women, including Kristen Davis from Sex and the City. However, the relationship did not last long. Later, he began dating actress Naomi Watts. The couple has 2 sons. Unfortunately, they also divorced in 2016. Although Liev's personal life remains relatively secretive and isn't advertised, he often shares photos of his children on Instagram, where he has more than 500,000 followers. At the time of receiving the role in the film Scream, Drew Barrymore was an established Hollywood star, with a Golden Globe nomination and a scandalous youth. In this horror film, the actress received a minor role, schoolgirl Casey Becker, who became the first victim of a maniac. That's why Drew wasn't shown in the picture so much, but she still received a nomination for the Saturn Award as Best Supporting Actress. The scene of Casey's murder with her boyfriend is considered one of the most memorable in the movie. But even after the release of the picture, Drew was still restoring her reputation for a long time after a turbulent youth, and therefore she got mainly the roles of girls of dubious morals and scams in romantic comedies of average quality. But in 1998, Drew starred in the romantic comedy The Wedding Singer, which immediately became popular and brought the actress $7 million in royalties. Barrymore's breakthrough was her participation in the Charlie's Angels project, in which the actress played the lead role with Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu. Moreover, Charlie's Angels became the debut work for Drew's own production company, created back in 1995. With rare exceptions, in the 2000s in the actress's filmography, there were the roles in romantic comedies that have become box office hits. There were 50 First Dates, Fever Pitch, and Never Been Kissed among them. The attempt to go into the dramatic path did not give the desired result, but Drew was able to prove herself not only as an actress, but also as a producer in many works. Barrymore has won prestigious cinematographic awards several times, and in 2004, her nominal star appeared on the Walk of Fame. In 2007, the actress was included in the list of the most beautiful people on the planet according to People magazine. Barrymore hasn't had many acting roles in the last 10 years. The most successful project was another romantic comedy called Blended. In 2020, the actress's last film work was released at the moment, where she also worked as a producer. It was the romantic comedy The Stand-In. The film failed at the box office and received generally negative reviews. In recent years, the actress has focused on her cosmetics brand, lifestyle, and on The Drew Barrymore Show. The actress was married 3 times and gave birth to 2 daughters. She remains an iconic figure in Hollywood. More than 15 million people willingly follow her personal and professional achievements on Instagram. David Arquette was more lucky. The American actor had already had a good experience in filming by the time he received the role of Sheriff Dwight Dewey Riley in the Scream franchise. However, there were mainly minor roles. A certain success can be considered the appearance in the TV series Friends in the image of Malcolm. Like this video if you are a fan of this show as well as we are. Scream gave him both a major role and a career rise. However, it wasn't very high and long. After the success of Scream, the actor tried himself in various roles and projects of different scales. Relatively successful ones can be considered Ravenous in 1999, which, although failed at the box office, had a good rating. Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore, and See Spot Run, where his partner was a 4-legged secret agent. Though David got the main role but mostly in failed pictures. Even the famous original literary source did not help much, as it was with Riding the Bullet, the film adaptation of Stephen King's novella. There was a crisis in his career which was fueled by problems in his personal life and a pernicious passion for drinking. An exception can be considered Eight-Legged Freaks, which beat off its budget, but it was not known who made the most impression on the viewer, Arquette or large arthropods. Gradually, the actor moved on to filming in successful television projects. The movies Medium, My Name is Earl, Pushing Daisies, Cougar Town were such ones. The last successful works were the TV shows Deputy and Mrs. Davis, where he got minor roles. But the popular horror movie gave the actor not only a career boost. On the set of Scream, Arquette met actress Courteney Cox, and they later got married. However, in 2013, the couple announced their separation. Since 2015, the actor has been married to journalist Christina McLarty. David was able to prove himself not only as an actor. Since 2000, the artist has been engaged in wrestling. He even became the WCW World Heavyweight Champion as well as participated in several successful shows. Since 2018, the actor's participation in death matches has been over after a severe neck cut in a fight with Nick Gage at Joey Janela's LA Confidential event. And the attempt to return to the craft in 2019 ended in failure. The actor was not recognized, and when they did, he was denied participation. But Arquette is not sitting idly by. In addition to fragmentary attempts to continue acting, he owns an exclusive nightclub in Los Angeles, Bootsy Bellows. There are a wide variety of entertainment programs, including those with asexual content. Before we move on to our next heroine, don't forget to click on the subscribe button and the bell to be the first to know about the release of new videos about the actors of your favorite movies. Subscribe, and we continue. Courteney Cox is one of the most successful people in our list today. She is an American actress who gained fame thanks to the role of Monica Geller in the popular TV series Friends. Once on the set of Scream, Courteney already had a baggage of experience, and not only in TV series but also in movies. The actress has accumulated a decent list of filmography which included roles in such projects as Murder, She Wrote, Family Ties, Seinfeld, and Ace Ventura: Pet Detective. In the slasher, Courteney got the role of Gail Weathers, a tough journalist covering the ghost face murders on television. After working on horror, Cox consolidated her success. But the actress's attempt to continue filming gave a dubious result. The projects that followed Scream were weak and did not pay off at the box office. Some of them, like The Runner in 1999, were even released on DVD. And the critical tragic comedy 3,000 Miles to Graceland received the Golden Raspberry. Although there were interesting roles, for example in the thriller November in 2004, the actress was able to sincerely portray the depression and emotional experiences of a photographer going through the loss of a boyfriend. Since 2006, the actress has been changing her focus towards working on television. Perhaps the impetus was the fact that she did not work out with the cinema. So the comedy slasher The Tripper, directed by David Arquette, has a dizzying failure both in terms of fees and in terms of audience reviews. In 2009, Cox received a role in the TV series Scrubs as well as the main role in the TV series Cougar Town, which she also produced. For her work in the latter, Courteney was nominated for a Golden Globe as the Best Actress in a Comedy Series. In addition, she has appeared in other popular TV series such as Shameless, Dirt, and Web Therapy. In 2020, she appeared as herself in the popular TV show Modern Family, and 2 years later, she got the main role in the comedy horror Shining Vale. In addition, a documentary television series, Last Chance U with Cox, in the title role is expected, but details have not yet been announced. In 2023, Cox returned to her role as Gail Weathers in Scream 6. Write in the comments, have you already watched this movie and how do you like it? It is very interesting to know the reviews of fans of past films. At the moment, the actress has been nominated for about 46 awards, 6 of which she has won, but we think this is not the limit. Everything is going well too in her personal life. After breaking up with David Arquette, Courteney found love with Johnny McDade, a member of the band Snow Patrol with whom she is still in relationship. We hope the actress will still please us with good roles. In the meantime, we offer you to learn more about the life of the actors of another, no less iconic film, The Mummy. Who from the cast used popularity for the benefit? And who, on the contrary, almost ruined his career? You will learn about the wonderful return of Brendan Fraser, the new films of Rachel Weisz, and much more if you click on the video that appeared on your screen. It was Biographer Express. We will be grateful to you for the like. See you in the new videos.